Scary story times while I fix store-bought slime sent in by my supporters. Y'all, I don't know why, but this story time freaks me out the most because this is crazy. I got this slime from the Dollar Tree, and like always, the story is not mine. It was sent in by a fan. Can't tell you if it's real or not. So this girl, her name was Oakley. She was 19 years old, and she moved 3 states. Hold up. She moved 3 states over near where her boyfriend was. I said hold up because it is like, yeah, anyways. No, I hate the ones that are like this. Oh my gosh. It smells okay though. I don't know. Now the apartment that she moved into was very much old and outdated. Okay, so safe to say the rent was cheap, and that she had no problem with it because the rent was cheap. Since she's 19, this is a new state. She was basically doing everything with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend would come over for like, a couple days at a time, but he would always go back to his place. They did not live together. It was cool. Now, very quickly, homegirl started to notice that her stuff was going missing because, for one, she was a broke college student. So stuff like dishes, soap, all that, you're going to notice that when you ain't got money for it. At first, she was thinking, hey, like, my boyfriend, he be coming over here, so he probably takes it or whatever. So she gets on the phone with him, and she's like, hey, have you seen this? And he's like, no. And she's like, you could just tell me if you took it. He's like, I didn't take it. I have my own stuff. Like, I wouldn't take your stuff. And she's like, okay, suspicious. I just genuinely hate overreacted slime. Like, so now she really thinking like maybe it's me, maybe I'm just like misplacing stuff. Like, I'ma pay attention from now on. Now, ever since she started to keep track of everything, nothing went missing. And then like 2 months later, it started to go missing again. So she's like, bro, what the crap is going on? Like, this is weird. Like, I know my boyfriend isn't taking it. Like, this is strange. Keep in mind, the stuff that's going missing is dishes, soap, socks, like things around the house that she needs. Now, a couple of months back, she started to hear weird noises in the middle of the night. Sounded like somebody was walking around, and this started to freak her out. Cause y'all, this is a old house in the middle of Virginia. Like, 9 times out of 10 it's haunted. Well, not house, apartment, but hey. Now, this goes on for days, and it's getting to the point to where it's really freaking her out. Remember, this is a couple months back. So she hits up her boyfriend. She's like, I think I'm going to get cameras for this house. Like, this is weird, strange stuff is happening. And so she's like calling her boyfriend for advice, and he's just like, don't do it. Like, I think you should just wait it out. I think that it's just an old house. Old houses make weird noises. Man, no they don't. Anyways, he's basically talking her out of the idea of getting cameras. He's adamant on it, but then she kind of folds and she's like, you're right, I don't have any money, like, whatever. So it's months later now, okay? So fast forward into the future. At this point, I just feel like I can't fix these slimes. Like, calming myself down. Anyways, yeah, so it's a couple months later. The sounds are still going on. Things are still going missing. So she's like, that's it, I'm getting cameras. Now, she does not tell her boyfriend that she's getting cameras, because she knew that he would end up like talking her out of it, so she just doesn't tell him. She sets the cameras up, and for the first like week or two, she doesn't see nothing. Like, nothing's out of the ordinary. Everything's normal. She's like, is it really just me? Like, is it all in my head? Was it me or was it all in my head? Anyway, I think that's how the lyrics go. Now, it's the 3rd week, y'all. She hasn't checked the cameras yet. She starts to hear walking around. Like, she starts to hear things moving, and she's like, oh my gosh, like, there's a ghost in this house. Like, without a doubt, there's a ghost in my house. The next day, she's like, I can't do this anymore. She takes the camera footage, and she leaves her house. She goes to, like, a coffee shop. She's reviewing the camera footage, y'all. Now, the day before she came home, she was at work. And she literally sees her boyfriend bringing in like these 2 people who look homeless, and she sees them. She sees him bring them into like this corner off camera, and they just disappear, and he walks out. At this point, she's shocked because, for one, why is her boyfriend up in her house, and why is her boyfriend up in her house with 2 other people? Who are these people? She's thinking he's gonna cheat on her. No, much worse. She's like, okay, like, she's seen her boyfriend leave. Y'all, she don't see these 2 people leave. Mind you, it's 2 men. She don't see them leave. It's 2 grown men in her house. And she looking through the camera footage. They're not leaving. They're not gone. They've just been in that corner from the time her boyfriend brought them in up until now. At this moment, she's so scared. So she calls the cops. She's like, there's people in my house. I have footage. Like, I don't want them in my house. Get them out of there. The police obviously are like, are you sure? She's like, yes. Like, I can't. I don't know if it's a break-in, but like, there's people in my house, y'all. This is a fail. Anyways, there's people in my house. So basically, what was happening without her knowledge, y'all? Okay, so basically, she finds out where they were hiding, and they were hiding in this old, spare, hidden room. She had no idea. It was like this, like, door that was like a corn line door, and you literally had to crawl through to get to it, and it's like this open room, and people were literally staying in there. So she finds out that her boyfriend was paying men to stay in her house, like, just so they can hear her sleep and take pictures of her. Yeah, her boyfriend, the boyfriend she moved 3 states over for, was paying grown men to sleep in her house. That's why I say this one is probably like the scariest one for me, because just imagine, like, you have no idea what's going on in your home. You feel like you're absolutely crazy. Things are going missing, like your dishes, soap, your clothes, and you come to find out your boyfriend is literally paying people to take stuff like that. Like, you're crazy. Anyways, y'all, why does this low-key look like a steak or like some type of meat or a tongue? Like, this is a fail and it stinks. It smells like they tried to make it smell like chocolate, but it stinks. Anyways, y'all, bye!
To this day, when somebody gives me a compliment and says that I look like somebody else, I do not trust your ass. But let me tell you why. When I was in like 9th grade, there was this dude at school that kept fucking telling me, oh, you look like Rihanna. I don't even fucking look like Rihanna. Y'all can see that, right? Right? We can see that, right? But I'm gonna tell you why the shit started getting weird. So we had a library that was like upstairs, so you had to walk all the way upstairs to go to the library, right? And on this day, I had to use the bathroom. So I get to the library upstairs, and you have to walk down this dark hall where the lights flickering and it look all creepy and shit. But I really didn't give a fuck because I really had to pee this day. So I go into the bathroom, right? I'm by myself the whole time, but I had on some, this was back when everybody used to wear them little Dre beats, so I had my headphones on, but for some reason when I was in the bathroom, I felt like something was up. Like, I felt like something was very fucking strange. So I pulled my fucking headphones off the first time, and I was thinking to myself, like, I looked up, I looked down, I looked all the fuck around. Like, I'm like, something's not right. So I put my headphones back on. I finished using the bathroom, and as I'm coming out the fucking stall, I just see a fucking eye peering on the side of the fucking door. Like, literally, like, it's like the door was closed, but this is all you could fucking see. Bro, when I tell you that shit shook the fuck out of me so fucking bad, I was like, what the fuck? So I walk up to the fucking counter and I put some soap on my hand to wash my hands and grab a paper towel. When I grab the paper towel, he comes out of the stall and was standing behind me like this, like, just with a straight face. Like, bro, I ran all the way the fuck out that bathroom, and bitch, I ran all the way to the administrator office. Like, what the fuck? And then, like, after I told the principal he did that shit, I swear to God, I never seen that dude again. Like, never. Like, not even in the hallway.
Spooky story time. A follower named Vincent sent me this story, and we're gonna call it My Grandma Regina. This is gonna be a 2-part series, so stay tuned. Vincent says that in 1989, he was about 6 years old, and he lived in a home with his mom, his 5 siblings, his grandma Regina, and his dad was kind of in and out due to alcoholism, so he wasn't really around too much. Vincent is the youngest of the 5 siblings, so he was very close to his grandma, and his grandma did have to do dialysis, so he would walk her to the bus whenever she had her appointments, and when she was gone, he would sit in front of the bay window just waiting for her to come home. One particular day, she did not come home. He would ask his mom, like, hey, where's grandma? And his mom always came up with excuses, but because he was so young, he didn't fully understand. And days turned into weeks. He asked his mom, but she never wanted to tell him that she had passed because she didn't want to put him through the hurt. Vincent says that after her passing, they started noticing paranormal activity going on in the house. He says that it began very subtle. Cabinets and drawers in the kitchen opening and closing. And then things started to get more odd. He says that at night, they could clearly hear someone walking around their house. They would go outside and check, and of course, there would be nobody there. And he says that as the days went on, things got more and more drastic. Vincent says that his grandma's cries could be heard throughout the house. And it wasn't like just, oh, I'm crying. It was like a suffering kind of cry and groan. One night, his mom was laying in her bed, relaxing, and she suddenly feels like someone lays right next to her in the bed, and then she suddenly gets paralyzed. She cannot move. At the same time, Vincent's sister heard something in her room, freaked her out so much that she started screaming her head off. Once mom heard that her daughter is screaming her head off, she's somehow able to snap out of this paralysis state, runs towards her daughter's room. Her daughter is running towards her in the hallway, and then suddenly his sister gets violently shoved sideways, kind of like towards the living room. They freak out. Mom is like, all right, we need to get out of here. Let's go look for your dad. They go to the bar, find dad, and he is not in his full mental state, of course. And he says, I will get home when I'm ready to get home. Y'all need to leave. They had nowhere else to go. They were still very shook. So they go back home, but they don't go inside the home. They're kind of like sitting in the bumper of the car, relaxing outside. And then they start to hear cries coming from inside the house. And then suddenly the front door opens and closes as if someone is coming outside. And then they can actually physically hear footsteps walking towards them. Obviously, they're freaking out. They all jump into the car and they drive off. Go to part 2.
Scary story time on how I found a tracker on my auntie's car while I make slime. My heart was in my booty hole when I found this tracker. Get your money's worth and let it drain. I ain't forget. The day literally started off regular, like nothing changed. Everything was normal. So we dropped my auntie off for work and we were minding our business for the day, y'all, okay? We pick my auntie up from work, we go to the store, and we're heading home. And as we're heading home, I get a notification on my phone, and I'm gonna show it on the screen. It says something like Apple AirTag device detected near you. So we're like 20 minutes away from my house at this time, and as soon as I seen that, my heart dropped. I immediately tell my people that there's a tracker on our car because, for one, I don't own an Apple AirTag, and I know they don't own an Apple AirTag. They didn't even know what it was when I brought it up to them. First thought in my head is that somebody wants to kidnap us, because I've seen the horror stories of people finding Apple AirTags on their car. I think everybody has. I'm trying to explain to them what an Apple AirTag is. I'm trying to explain to them that it's on our car. I don't know where. You know, I'm trying to explain all of it. I don't think I mentioned this, but it showed me like our house to the store to dropping my auntie off to picking her up. Like, it showed us everything. I'm freaked out. I'm trying to figure out when they possibly could have put it on, and then y'all, I see that it says it has been with you since like 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning. In my head, it's like somebody's been watching us, like somebody got us, like they're trying to get us, like somebody wants me, like they gonna kidnap me. I don't care how many times I have to say this, y'all. I was freaked out. I'm thinking, oh, if I go missing, they're not gonna care because look at my skin color. Not to mention, I'm not a little girl anymore. They're not gonna put a rush on it. I'm just another black girl going missing in the United States of America. Then we get home, and I immediately am trying to like play off the sound, because it gives you an option to play off the sound, and I'm trying to play off the sound to find it around the car. And y'all, I literally, I'm trying to find it. I'm going crazy. I grabbed my auntie, they tell me to chill, and they ended up going down to the police station, trying to figure out who owns it. At this point, I tell my friends, I'm telling my man, I'm telling everybody, because I was scared. And y'all, look at how pretty she came out. Like, this is my first time having a successful shaving cream slime, okay? We contacted the police. Like, I can't say too much. The police aren't involved, so you already know how that goes. I do want to say, like, every video that I make is not a lie. I tell the truth about every situation, because I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, this is not the truth, this is not the truth. There's only one video on my page that is not my story. Like, a fan sent me that, and it literally says, warning, not my story. You be saying, how do you have so many story times? Y'all understand that I am 2 decades old, right? I'm 2 decades old, so in those 2 decades, a lot of crazy things have happened. But look at the way she bounces, though. Like, let me roll her in the ball. This is the first slime that's not sticky. Yay!
Can we show them the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
I got my snack, so get yours. It is a snack. I'm Haitian. So, there's this girl. Let's call her Deja. Deja had got home from work and she was tired. She ate dinner, she took a shower, she read her book, and then she went to sleep. Now, Deja is a very light sleeper. I am too. Like, somebody could walk past me and I'll wake up. So it wasn't any surprise when Deja woke up at 3 a.m. to somebody knocking on her door. She knows it was 3 a.m. because when she woke up, the first thing she did was grab her phone and look at the time because it's the middle of the night. Deja's like, who the hell could be at my door at 3 a.m.? Deja also knows better, so she didn't open the door. She went and looked through the peephole, but no one was there. So she's like, am I bugging? Like, I could have sworn there was a knock that woke me up. And she sat there contemplating for a while if she's bugging or not, because she's not going to wake up for no reason. She's like, all right, forget this. I'm going back to bed. She goes back to bed. She lays down. And the moment her head touched that pillow, she heard the knock again. And so she sat up. She's like, am I tripping right now? And as she's questioning herself if she's tripping, she hears the knock again. She's like, okay, I'm not bugging because I heard it. So she went back to the door, looked through the peephole. There's still nobody there. Asia had this neighbor. Y'all know how everybody has that one neighbor that just knows everything? Like, that neighbor watches everything and just looks out. He's like the block's cop. So an idea crossed her head. She's like, maybe it's my neighbor, but I don't see anybody. And she's like, I feel like I should call my neighbor to see if my neighbor's up. Usually, sometimes her neighbor be up around that time. So she calls her neighbor. Let's call the neighbor Mr. Hanks. Mr. Hanks picks up, and Deja's like, hey, Mr. Hanks, I'm so sorry to bother you. I really don't mean to call around this time. It's just that I keep hearing somebody knock on my door, but I don't see anybody outside. So I was just wondering if you saw anybody, like, walk away. Because someone keeps knocking at my door, but I don't see anybody. So Mr. Hanks is like, yeah, you're fine. I'm up. I thought I heard a knock too, but I didn't pay it too much mind. But it's okay. I'll come over there and check it out for you. So that made Deja feel a little better because the neighbor's coming just to, like, help her feel a little more safe. So she's like, whew, I'm going to go back to bed to my room until Mr. Hanks comes. She goes back to her room. She closes her door. She gets into bed, but she's not going to sleep because she's waiting for Mr. Hanks. As she's sitting on her bed, scrolling on her phone, she heard a knock again, except this time that knock was on her room door. Like, somebody was knocking her room door. So it only means that something or somebody is inside the house now, which is impossible because she never opened the door. So it's safe to say now she's frozen. She's terrified. She is freaking out. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't even want to open the door. She's terrified. She grabs her phone to go and dial 911. She's trying to do this as quiet as possible. And right when she was about to do that, her window, somebody started knocking on her window. And it's the window, so it's clear. She can see nobody's there. So she immediately drops to her knees and starts praying because she doesn't know what to do. What is she going to say to the 911 operator? What's she going to say? There's a ghost knocking on my door? There's a ghost knocking on my window? Please come check it out. Like, she don't know what to do. As she's in front of her bed, on her knees, praying, she sees something under her bed. Now, Deja's a very clean person. She doesn't keep, like, she's very clean. She's like a germ freak. So when she saw something under her bed, she's like, impossible. And the way that the thing was, like, the way it was placed, it was as if somebody planted it there. So she goes under her bed. She reaches for whatever that she saw. She pulls it out. And it's the underwear of the person she last had sexual relations with. It was his boxers. And not only was it his boxers, when she touched it, it was oily. As if, like, the boxers had oil on it. And it was, like, wrapped, like, as in, like, a small little ball so that it can be hidden. And when she opened the underwear, there were herbs inside. Herbs. The Haitian came out of me and I said herbs, but you get it. Deja is no stranger to witchcraft. She doesn't practice it, but she knows about it. She's like, holy shit, he got me. So she starts praying even harder. Like, she unravels the thing. She takes everything apart, goes in her drawer. She gets a lighter because she had a bathroom, like, in her room. She ran to the bathroom, ran to the sink, and put the underwear on fire as she's praying over it. Y'all, when she started to burn that thing, it wouldn't burn. Mind you, the underwear has oil on it with herbs, so it should be catching fire, but it's not. And the more and more she's praying, the more and more she's trying to set it on fire, the knock that was at the door isn't even a knock anymore. It's a pound. She's hoping and praying that the neighbor comes through. However, in order for her to open the door for the neighbor, she has to leave her room, but this knock is now on her room door. So she calls her mom in the middle of the night. Her mom is, like, confused because she was half asleep. And Deja's freaking out. Deja's trying to explain to her mom what's happening, but her mom can't hear her because the knock on the door is so loud. After multiple tries, the mom finally understood what Deja was trying to say. And Deja's mom, too, is not new to witchcraft. She's not even from the U.S., so she definitely knows about it. Her mom immediately got angry with her because her mom is always warning her about who she, like, has sex with. Because, believe it or not, y'all, having relations with somebody is deeper than you think it is. That's why you're not supposed to do it before marriage. But that's another video for another day. So mom is mad at Deja. She's like, you know better. Why are you sleeping with people you barely know? To the point where they're putting things under your bed. Deja's like, mom, clearly I know, I messed up. But what can I do right now? Because I'm praying and I'm trying to burn it and it's not working.
Me dormí con mi hermano 5 años de mi vida, loco. Y me encantaría decirte que lo hice cuando estaba chiquita, pero la realidad es que no. Lo hice como de los 13, 14 en adelante. Seguramente te debes de estar preguntando por qué, y si no, igual te voy a contar. Resulta y acontece que yo cuando tenía como 12, 13 años, me encantaba el terror. O sea, había un programa en... no me acuerdo, creo que era Home and Health, o uno de esos. Y pues había un programa que era como de personas videntes, creo que se les llama, que pueden ver y hablar con los muertos, y sacan casos en donde X familia tiene su casa embrujada. O sea, para pronto era un canal en donde salían casos paranormales. Y a mí me encantaba, loco, me encantaba demasiado, y podía pasarme toda la tarde viendo ese tipo de canales, ese tipo de casos, o viendo películas de terror. Como que tuve una época de mi vida en donde me encantaba lo paranormal, hasta que empecé a soñar muy feo. Para este entonces yo vivía en otra casa que no es esta, y en esa casa habían pues demasiadas habitaciones, y como todavía no nacía mi hermano pequeño, el que tiene 8 años, teníamos una habitación para visitas. Este es un tema muy importante, porque cuando yo empiezo a tener pesadillas, soñaba con la misma niña todas las noches, que básicamente me corría de mi cuarto. Me decía como de, este no es tu lugar, este es mío, vete de aquí. Luego empezó a escalar un poco más, porque ahora me empezaba a despertar todas las madrugadas a la misma hora, loco. Ni un minuto más, ni un minuto menos. Siempre a la misma hora. Empecé a escuchar ruidos, empecé a tener parálisis del sueño, que coloquialmente lo conocemos como se me subía el muerto. Y yo decido mudarme al cuarto de visitas. Entonces yo ya no dormía en mi cuarto y me iba a dormir todas las noches al cuarto de visitas, y creo que todo estuvo bien el primer mes, cuando de la nada volví a tener los mismos sueños, en donde ahora la misma niña me decía que ese también era su cuarto y que no me podía dormir ahí. Y en ese momento sí dije, a la roña, yo ya no puedo lidiar con esto sola, y me mudé con mi hermano. Era en verdad ya un pánico horrible en el que yo no podía dormir si no era con mi hermano. Y o sea, él normalmente en las noches pues es como que muy activo, y se va al baño, se va a rondar por la casa, a caminar, a escuchar música, y yo en verdad no podía, y me enojaba con él y le decía como de, no, César, no me dejes sola. Y pues así me la aventé como 5 o 6 años de mi vida durmiéndome con mi hermano. Una vez, una de mis tías, que bueno, de hecho es mi tía abuela, creo que así se dice, es bruja, entonces fue a la casa a pues limpiarla, y yo se los juro que ese día no podía dormir, me dolía muchísimo la cabeza, sentía como que una sensación bien rara, no sé cómo explicarles. Y si les soy sincera, llegué a un punto de mi vida en donde soñaba cosas paranormales todos los días, pero ya cuando despertaba como que dudaba mucho entre si era un sueño o si realmente sí había pasado. O igual ya era demasiada mi psicosis y mi miedo, que mi cerebro me hacía creer que todo eso era real. Y ustedes se preguntarán en qué acaba esta historia, y la verdad se solucionó más rápido de lo que yo hubiera imaginado. Empecé a leer un libro que se llama Brida, de Paulo Coelho. Creo que nunca lo terminé, pero como a mitad del libro más o menos dice una frase que es: el hecho de que tú tengas miedo por algo no significa que estés en peligro. Y muchas veces cuando tú sientes miedo, el cerebro lo asocia con estar en peligro, y creo que por eso entras como en pánico. Pero yo leí eso y automáticamente algo cambió dentro de mí. Dije, es que es cierto, o sea, tengo mucho miedo por mis sueños, pero eso no significa que algo malo me vaya a pasar. Finalmente estoy en mi casa, estoy con mis papás, tengo un techo y nada malo me puede pasar aquí. Entonces agarré todo el valor que en ese momento pude tener. De hecho fue justamente en pandemia, ahora que me acuerdo. Y simplemente lo hice. O sea, dije, bro, hoy es el día, por primera vez en tantos años, en donde voy a tratar de dormirme sola. Y así fue, me volví a ir a mi cuarto y me dormí sola. Y la verdad es que primero fue gradualmente. Primero puse como unas lucecitas moradas de árbol de Navidad por todo mi cuarto y primero me empecé a dormir con esas lucecitas. Y sí despertaba en la madrugada, pero me decía a mí misma, no estás en peligro, no estás en peligro, todo está bien, nada malo va a pasar. Y a partir de ahí volví a dormir sola. Obviamente todavía tengo muchísimas pesadillas. De hecho, siempre he tenido el mismo sueño recurrente con esta niña. Pero si quieren que les cuente el sueño específico y detallado, pues déjenme en los comentarios y ya se los cuento. Ya han pasado casi 10 años desde que yo empecé a tener este sueño y no lo he dejado de tener. Solo que ahora ya no me da miedo como al principio. De hecho, pues ya hasta cierto punto soy demasiado consciente en mi sueño que pues estoy teniendo un sueño. Y de hecho muchas veces he tratado de manera consciente en mi sueño como que tratar de averiguar más. No sé, es un trip muy raro. Pero bueno, eso es todo lo que te quería contar por hoy. Adiós, bye. Y no se te olvide seguirme en mi otra red social.
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window
Sean.
break?
We're Spooky Storytime, and is the veil thinning in Hollister, California. I've lived here now for 8 years, and from day one, the activity doesn't know what give it a break means. I have always said this area and this house has other dimensions or timelines trying to merge with ours. I have recordings and a video of some of the stuff that goes on here. I definitely want to see those. I feel that there is a girl stuck here. She is trapped by another ghost, an older one. He died in his 40s-ish and is pissed. I feel she was pregnant and took her life in a shed on this land before it was anything. Her family had a home here long before it was the turkey farm. Her baby is here too. You can hear it running around in the laundry area. We hear tapping, disembodied voices, a man and a woman talking and arguing, footsteps, cold spots, things dropping where nothing has dropped, the creaking floor in the master bedroom where you'd have to physically walk to make it creak, and no one is there. Dark shadows, orbs, dark things flying by hella fast, music, huge crowds of people, the list goes on and on. One night, my husband and I were sitting on the couch. I was facing the eat-in kitchen, which has a huge doorway. There's a fireplace near the door. My husband was sitting on the other end of the couch, facing the laundry area, which is near the fireplace. So we both had a clear view of it. The TV was off, and we were just chit-chatting when I saw a see-through, cloudy apparition walking from the eat-in area in front of the fireplace and then disappeared. It walked maybe 10 feet across. My eyes widened and I said to my husband while pointing, "Look, a ghost, a ghost." He was looking straight ahead at the laundry room and said, "Oh my God, I see it too." Oh my God, I have goosebumps. I don't know if he was fully convinced, lol. I see apparitions in my house constantly. My daughter, who is also sensitive, often talks about the baby and how she doesn't like staying here because it keeps her up at night. Oh, and about the dimensional stuff. Here's why I think it's a dimension or maybe a timeline that keeps overlapping. My husband, older daughter, and I were sitting on the couch. She was sitting with her back to the laundry room. He was facing the laundry room, and I was facing the eat-in kitchen. The TV was off, and we were just enjoying each other's company, talking and joking. Out of who knows where, I got a vision of an old analog TV sitting in the kitchen between there and the eat-in area. I was sitting on a stand with rabbit ear antennas and the circular one as well. It was on, showing a heavily static, lined picture. The screen was white, the static was black and blue. The white lines, and underneath each line was yellow and red. It was flickering up and down, extremely distorted. I could make out the outline of a woman, her head and part of her shoulders and chest. The sound came in. It started slowly and ramped up. I couldn't understand what she was saying. It was almost like the teacher speaking from the Peanuts, only more robotic and scratchy. Then it ramped back down and disappeared. All three of us sat there stunned. We looked at each other in confusion and disbelief. I called out to our other daughter, who was down the hall in her room. I thought maybe she was right there trying to trick us. She wasn't. She was in her room with the door shut. The three of us could barely speak. Our oldest asked, "What was that?" We were all interrogating each other, trying to see what was real or not. It was, in fact, real. I have no explanation for what happened. Perhaps you can shed more light on this. There is so much more. I have videos of things flying around in the sky outside my house. That's a real trip too. Also, you're in Hollister, California, which is a hop, jump, and skip from San Juan Bautista. And in San Juan Bautista is one of the missions where there was so much abuse, slavery, um, horrors that happened to the native people there. And it wouldn't surprise me if where you live there were native people there who were taken from their homes. So I don't know, what do you guys think this is? Has anyone else in Hollister or anywhere experienced anything like this? Let me know in the comments or send me your story.